What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. Good morning, Wednesday morning, January 29th, for those watching live and everyone watching later. Well, same information. This segment we're going to call What's Grind My Gears, taking this skit from Family Guy, which is just funny, right? So it's basically me getting to rant on just shit I want to rant about, whether or not it even makes sense, but most of the time it does. This is just going to be me ranting on things. Now, I'm not a drama guy. This is not a drama channel. You can go back and look at our videos. You're not going to see hardly any drama except something recently about Joe Wicks, but that was more of an opinion on just morality, more so than me going after a fitness person. I don't go after really anybody. I don't do that stuff on here. But this segment, What's Grind My Gears, I think it's going to be fun because I'm just going to tell you what I think about something. Now, what grinds my gears today? What grinds my gears today? Well, it's the conflation of the term carnivore over what is most accurate, which is omnivore. Like, the carnivores are asking the world to change their pronoun effectively. The carnivore no longer identifies as being a animal only eater. A carnivore identifies as being an animal and a specific list of plant-based food sources also. But I'm really a carnivore, but I also eat plant-based stuff because I can't sustain my health, my vitality, my energy, all things physiological and biological in mass, in my opinion, now scientifically supported in mass if we statistically look at those who go on, those who come off, but also, and most importantly, those who are most famous. And this is what bothers me. So everything else I just said, this is where the rant starts. This is what bothers me. You get the more well-known advocates of a certain tribal diet plan when I'm speaking about fitness, because this jumps over into every other aspect of life and business, and I get it, but this is what grinds my gears. When you get smart, successful, well-researched, and networked individuals leading movements that just don't make sense. Carnivores, how many carnivores also eat plant-based products? So I ask you, isn't that an omnivore? Why are you still calling it carnivore if you said, hey, I did the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet, well, it didn't really work. I mean, it did a few things for a little while, but it wasn't sustainable. Therefore, I've readopted an omnivorous meal plan. That's mostly animal-based, if you will. And you can say that, which is kind of true. But if we added up the totality of specific ingredients, well, we might find that you eat fewer animal products than you do plant-based products in a given week or so. But the point is, we get the famous people who, and I'm going to use an example, and I'm not a drama person. This isn't drama. This Paul's a smart guy. I just don't understand. I don't understand. So briefly, the Carnivore MD, right? Highly defined branded Carnivore MD that sells carnivore-based supplements, which they're listed on here, but it's like the high end of being a carnivore supplements. Great looking, super fit, awesome. What he's doing works for him. And I'm not saying any of this, but stay with me. The Carnivore MD talks about how the ancient tribes of South Africa, the Hadza, the Ikong, and the Yano Mono, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing the words properly. What they say, the first priority is hunting animals and nothing goes to waste. Sure, but he makes the assertion that because South Africans only ate meat and hunted meat, and go through and read this on his site. So it's a really cool story, bro. I mean, cool story, bro. How preferentially animals are what the humans are supposed to eat. Then he goes on to say, and it's somewhere in here, most vegetables don't even make the list of healthy, high-tier food. The hunter-gatherers are pretty darn hungry and nothing else is available. Then they have to eat the shit plants on the ground that are trying to kill you. Humans intuitively know what to eat. And there's something in here about seeds, and I apologize for not being able to readily jump on it here right now. And the thing about seeds I find is interesting that they are most vegetables, I did see that. I just didn't read the parentheses. Most vegetables, leaves, stems, seeds, grains, beans, nuts, they don't even make the list until hunter-gatherers are pretty darn hungry and nothing else is available. Then, oh my goodness, they have to eat the seeds and probably almost barely die because the seeds are constantly trying to kill us. And that's kind of what the story is here. The assertion is here that animal food is everything. The carnivore MD, the truth seeker. And here's just something, what he eats. Cool. Fucking rip, dude. Looks great. Meat and or liver and organ meats probably here. And then fruit, bananas and papayas and, other stuff here. Plant-based. I'm sorry. I'm getting too caught up in the weeds here. Plant-based. But he's the fucking carnivore MD pushing the carnivore lifestyle. And now the carnivore lifestyle, like global warming, pivoted and became climate change. Carnivore pivoted and became animal-based carnivore. And the carnivore name, that's the issue here. That's what grinds my gears, is that if we're saying the seeds are bad, well, we can see that what seeds contain. Chia seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. You can get the same amount of omega-3 fatty acids from chia seeds, from 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, as you can get from 4 ounces of salmon. Well, that's cool. That's useful. That's beneficial. Chia seeds contain selenium, potassium, and other minerals. They also provide you with B vitamins like niacin. You can get 50% of your daily DRI for manganese, as well as 35% of your phosphorus. A serving of chia seed also provides 18% of your DRI. So there's some health benefit. That was the point of reading that. There is some health benefit to that. But also, as we look deeper into more of the science of chia seeds, whole and ground chia seeds, chia oil, the effects on plasma, lipids, and fatty acids. We'll go down and we'll find, and I'll link this below. Well, these findings suggest that chia appears to be an alternative omega-3 fatty acid source for vegetarians and people allergic to fish and fish products. When fed to rats, chia decreased serum triglyceride levels and increased HDL, the good cholesterol levels, and omega-3 fatty acids. So there's some verified, this is just like a baby sneeze in a hurricane's amount of information. Please do your own research. Again, that's not the point of this. I'm not arguing, omega-3 versus omega-6 ratio, one to the other, like they do with grass-fed versus conventional. They do, meaning Global Fitness does. But the point is, as we take it further now, animal products are only what's good. Carnivores only eat animal products, right? You should only eat animal products. But also, in order to be a carnivore, you can't just eat animal products because they've proven it. Carnivore MD eats animal products. Rob Wolf, I think, was kind of, Rob was more hardcore keto, but still heavy animal products. That's fine. Sean Baker, I believe, is probably the only animal product out there. My buddy Chris Bell, who I love, Chris Bell, and I've open and honest, we speak about it often, the difference of opinion of that. Many others out there, but I think the carnivore MD gets the goods, because do you remember when George St. Pierre was working with and followed the carnivore diet, the animal-based diet? Now it's odd that I can't find, there was a post previously on here, but there's also, and commonly, posts of just a dude eating an ice cream cone and eating toast and berries, avocados. Is that olives on there? I believe olives, like plant. All right. I mean, even like toast, that's highly, processed. with the inference of carnivore. And that's the thing. So it's not about Paul. I'm sure Paul's a fucking great guy. This has nothing to do with Paul. It has nothing to do with the humans. It has to do with the conflation of the term that confuses people. So let me swing this back now. But now let me show you a little bit more of George, just to make the point. Most people think about George St. Pierre and the carnivore diet, carnivore. This whole thing, fasting. That's like who George has been. I love George. I think the greatest martial artist in our history, and probably third on my GOAT list, which is the GOAT welterweight for sure, and third of the all times. I'll tell you who my GOAT list is. So extreme respect for George St. Pierre, of course. But nutritionally, man, the guy is a super phenom athlete, right? There's no doubting George is the 1% of the 1% athletically, but also mentally, because he can work and push himself so far to to bring about like his upward genetic potential. He can push himself farther than most people can. Also, that's what makes him so highly ranked. So deep respect for George. But George eats more like a regular person, well-adjusted person that knows how to ingest and expend food sources. George eats ice cream all the time, bread products all the time. He lives in Montreal and travels the world and has access to the greatest restaurants. My God, why? Why would you not? But also this point here, George St. Pierre, an endorser or more of hemp and hemp seeds and hemp products, is in direct contrast to what Paul is saying about the seeds, right? Most vegetables, leaves, stems, seeds, grains, beans, nuts don't even make the list. So I'm confused. Then. What is it? Are chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, all the seeds bad? We shouldn't be eating them. And here's the greatest welterweight of all time, top 3, in my opinion, GOAT in the world. Probably the most fit for sure human. Selling hemp, telling everyone else to buy hemp, and then that he also uses hemp, which I also use hemp. For the same reasons that probably George includes hemp into his diet and his lifestyle. But for some reason, the carnivore MD says not to. And then further, in other posts, again, he looks great, though. I mean, fucking Paul looks great. Lives it. But is so contrary in statements. Actions do not match statements. That's the odd thing, right? For me anyway. So that's the confusing part as to why when we communicate, we talk to people, when we are inundated, we run a health and fitness company with licensed registered dietitians working one-on-one with real humans every day. So we have a constant influx of regular humans who are confused, and we run through their intake forms and we ask them about their lifestyle and what they have previously done and what the effects are. And wouldn't you be surprised at how many people have tried this quote carnivore thing, the extreme carnivore thing, and horribly failed? Oh, how much would you think? Did you try it? Do your friends try it? Why don't you keep doing it? Because the point is, it grinds my gears because it's not true. It's not, in my opinion, the carnivore MD sells the carnivore idea and the carnivore supplements. But is also highly contradicted with the actions, the real world actions. There's a few more great ones down here. George just lives a great life, man. Like, why is everyone pretending that he's a carnivore or following a carnivore or global warming, climate change pivot, carnivore, animal based, right? That's when it was like, keto's the best. And I'll do a grind my gears on keto also. But keto is like, man, keto was the thing. Mark Sisson goes on Rogan's podcast, and all of a sudden, bam, the whole world is keto for the next 4 years, 5 years almost now, which because it's in the crash, everyone keto. During that time, and you can go back and look, 2017 or so, I made a video saying it's another fad. It's another peak and crash. It's another mass adoption of a highly clickable SEO trending term that people could lock onto. And then keto did what? It became keto for athletes and modified keto and like kind of keto and keto cookies and, back to a highly normalized and likely worse if you're following the standard American diet. But let's say you're following a living lean style program of healthful whole foods eaten in wide variety and in moderate sizes spread evenly throughout the day based upon activity and digestion. Do they make you feel good or bad? Go with that. Do you feel energized or lethargic? Go with that. Are you meeting your physical goals in the gym and in life and in interpersonal relationships? Go with that. Are you satisfied without being excessive, without being a glutton? Go with that. That Paul, Carnivore, and Chris and Sean and everyone else out there, and maybe Brendan Brazier on the vegan side, right? And James Wilkes, of course, also. I think the vegans are honestly more honest than the carnivores. True, when you listen to them talk, the vegans are more honest than the carnivores, in my opinion. I don't agree with a fully vegan diet for the same exact reasons as I don't agree with a carnivore diet. The vegans don't seem to twist it and conflate it as the carnivores do. But it's really an omnivorous diet. Everyone goes back to being an omnivore, so why is it a carnivore or a vegan when it's an omnivore? Everyone's an omnivore. Everyone's an omnivore. George St. Pierre is an omnivore. Look, George St. Pierre is eating crepes. God bless him. Of course he should be. Why wouldn't he be? Look at him. Of course, he fucking works out like a George is a superhero. He pushes hard. He lives his good life. I guarantee he's not a glutton, though. He probably, in my opinion, eats amazing food when he sits down to eat it, but doesn't eat quadruple his total caloric baseline every day. That's the issue. He has that self-control. But anyway, let me hop out of this because there's a lot of questions here that I'm happy to jump in and answer with you guys. But that's what grinds my gears. It grinds my gears, the conflation of the term. Right now, this is about carnivore, but I could do one on keto and veganism. And so many other things on BCAAs and all the other issues. What do you guys think? Does that bother you? Do you see what I'm saying? This is just me just shooting the shit, right? This is just me shooting the shit, but you saw the exact post, the exact words, but then in the lifestyle, it's the table full of plant-based foods and animal-based foods. But you're carnivore. No, you're not. You're an omnivore. They're an omnivore. So this is for everyone else listening. You're an omnivore, right? Your ancestors were omnivores. The majority of the planet's an omnivore right now. I'll get to that in a second. Asterisk right there. The longest living humans on the planet have been omnivores. The highest performing athletes are omnivores. They don't fast typically. They eat a moderate meal. They eat typically 4 times per day on average, averaged out. That includes an apple or a smoothie or a pre-post workout or 4 chicken and rices, whatever it is, about 4 times a day. The Tom Brady's of the world, the Venus Williams of the world, the LeBron James of the world. You think they're fasting? No. The greatest performing athletes of every sport, they eat multiple times throughout the day. So they don't fast. They don't restrict carbohydrates. They don't restrict protein. They don't restrict specific fats. They eat typically high net nutrient foods, more foods than they do supplement, by far the highest performing athletes and the longest living humans, animal products and plant products. So you're an omnivore. At your best, you're an omnivore. The carnivores can't stick to being carnivore. They go on, they go off, they go on, they go off. But if you dropped carbs, irrelative of dropping all plant-based foods, the carnivores would likely see a similar drop in weight over the same period of time. Dare I say, it might be more sustainable because they'll have a wider nutrient selection coming through. It won't be so exclusionary. But all right, let me stop at that. I think I'll keep these rants to 20 minutes max. Let's answer some questions. Boom! What's up, Omar? Good to see you, man. Christian, can't wait for the Mastering the Weight Cut. Got my notebook ready. I'm pumped up. Mastering the Weight Cut seminar this Saturday, January 29th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to DolceDietShop.com right now. Promo code MASTER25, and I will give you 25% off. But it's booking out fast, so I don't even know if there's any spots left. Grinds my gears when a family member says they're going on a keto diet to get healthy or lose weight, and then proceeds to eat garbage at McDonald's or Peppers with absurd amounts of cream cheese. I'm in. It's like the carnivores, they go to In-N-Out Burger and they peel off the bun and the tomato and the lettuce. Like, I'm a fucking carnivore. Like, really? You're worried about the fucking slice of romaine lettuce, a slice of it, but you're eating these conventionally raised meat-like products stuffed with so much preservatives and just synthetics. And then you're eating the synthetic American cheese, because American cheese is not real cheese. It's a synthetic version of cheese, right? Didn't even get the real, like it's not even considered real food. American cheese, look that up. But they're putting that on, this just glob of rubberized synthetic toxic chemicals on top of the conventionally raised synthetic toxic chemical packed burger. They're eating that, but they're peeling off the piece of lettuce and tomato. Like, think about that. How stupid is that? That grinds my gears. I peel the bun off. I get that. But the piece of lettuce and the tomato, really? That's silly. That's silly. That's a fucking meme right there. Cole says, grinds my gears when my Italian family members give me a hug and tell me I need to start eating more because they can feel my bones, even though I'm healthy and lean, 155, 160, eating 3 to 5 meals a day. Well, if that's your grandma, she's entitled. She will feed you until you are 400 pounds and still tell you are skinny. That is a sign of love, right? That is a sign of love. But yeah, go for a run. When you know your family's coming, get out of there. Hey, Jesse, what's up, man? Crushing it with the content. Thank you so much. Happy to be here. You know, working hard. I thought this was a fun one. You know, what grinds my gear? I don't know, people get mad or not. And it's certainly not a personal attack at all. I don't understand. If I don't understand why it's carnivore, but it's omnivore in reality, why are you being carnivore, telling everyone to be carnivore, pushing carnivore? It makes no sense. That makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. Just watch the type of products you eat in totality. Be careful of the type of nutrients, of cuts of the meat. These cuts of the meat in the plant world are better than these cuts of the meat. You're an omnivore. So what's the fucking point of it? James, what's up, man? How you doing? Progress, baby. I want to hear progress. Leave me a post. Progress. Give me something. What have you done well, James? What do you reflect upon over the last 3 to 7 days that you have done well and you are proud of? Leave that below. I want to hear it. Absolutely love these rants, Coach. Keep it up. That's fun. Dolce, I think. Boom. Number 1, Rice. That subscriber badge is looking sweet. Buddy, I appreciate that for all subscribers. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and then click that join button and get badged up. Get badged up so we know you're an insider of the channel. We got really cool insider things coming up, interviews with famous, famous friends, my network. How many calories does ranting burn? A lot. Like my core, I'm like, as I'm talking, I'm making sure to keep my core kind of locked into place here, bringing that rib down to the top of the hips, contracting the wall like I'm doing a plank, keeping my spine, hopefully aligned as much as possible. That's why I love the standing desk, by the way. You can do squats while I'm hanging out with you guys. Costing me 2 breakfast bowls a day, too much for a postman. I walk 8 miles, 5 to 6 days a week, train full body 3 times a week. Don't want to lose weight, struggling with oil. Look in the mirror, man. Struggling with calories. Look in the mirror. If you're saying you're struggling with calories, I would say most likely 2 breakfast bowls. Not ideal, but just maybe drop the oats and go with the fruit and the seeds. Sorry, Paul. Chia and hemp seeds, right? Go with the chia and hemp seeds. They work for George St. Pierre, but not for the Carnivore MD. I don't understand that. But the Carnivore MD takes most of the credit for George's decisions in physique. So I don't get that. That's confusing to the consumer, to the regular person, which is why we all do what we do, I would assume, is to just tell you guys what we think, what we see, what really works, what the evidence says, and you go take a look at it. But I've seen no evidence that says chia seeds is bad. And in fact, I'm sorry to add to this, those who stayed here, this is, so Dave B, if you can connect these two together somehow, I'm in the timestamps. Chia seeds were used and farmed by the Aztecs for 5,000 years. Look it up. It's there. In fact, the indigenous people of the North South America, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and many other indigenous people of thousands of years ago from around the world, utilized chia seed, and it's known as the warrior food because the warriors would actually take the chia seeds with them as their fuel source because of its ability to rehydrate, because of the high net protein, high net fiber, high net fat content it contained. It was power in a little tiny seed. But Paul's assertion is that those in South Africa, the natives, the indigenous of South Africa, did not. They relied more on meat. Okay. What about the Aztecs and the indigenous of North America that did rely heavily on meat? And in fact, Paul made the assertion that it was the hunter-gatherers, right? They're out there hunting. They can't do that on seeds and kale. But the indigenous of North America did. So what is it then? Again, what's the point we're making here? Oh, be a carnivore. Seeds bad, seeds bad, seeds bad. Be a carnivore. But what about all this factual information too? And then all of the supportive information on the health benefits. So again, regular people get confused and it grinds my gears because they come here every day. I'm actually talking myself out of business so we get a less influx of confused people. Just tell the truth. Hopefully, like I'm telling right now, like I do every day. Eat healthful whole foods in wide variety from high net nutrient sources, plant-based and animal-based. Don't even worry about your macros or even calories in the very beginning. Just clean up your diet. Just start eating healthful whole foods from high net nutrient sources. We'll say, and then now let's make it in wide variety. Chicken, steak, fish, lentils, beans, eggs, hemp seeds, quinoa, high protein content, right? So many different ways to do it. Just do that, get regular, and then start eating in a routine. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, mid-meal, which could be a snack, a pre or a post-workout, or even a dessert. We make this Greek yogurt with fresh berries like black cherries. Greek yogurt blended in the blend tech, like turned over into ice cream with black cherries in it. And we put chia seeds on there, sprinkle them into the batch, but also as sprinkles. Fucking amazing. Amazing. That is a great meal snack to have at night. But not if you're carnivore. I think the rant is over. But the point is, that's what we say. Hey, do that. Just do that. That's pretty easy. Eat wide variety of healthful whole foods from high net nutrient sources, animal and plant kingdoms, balanced plate. Each meal should be about the same size. Now let's start working on that. Get your meals about the same size, spread evenly throughout the day. Don't worry about pre and post workout. Just have a nice meal. Let's get this routine going. This is what everybody needs to hear. Not that beets are bad for you. Don't eat beets, right? That's not what people need to hear. You need to build the structure. You need to start, establishing healthy habits. That's what we teach here. And then once we get that healthy habit routine going, then we start looking a little bit more into maybe portion size or total calories, because now we're eating high net nutrient sources, fulfilling all of our micronutrient, all of our phytochemical needs, right? We're getting that well established. We've got our digestive system now kind of working more efficiently. We're more aware of the digestive system, the most important part of all this that everybody jumps over. Metabolism moving. Now we're kind of, hopefully we're in a health routine, a fitness routine, going for a few minutes of walk every morning, or now we're doubling up on our CrossFit class and the assault bike, 20-minute grinder right afterwards. Whatever you're doing, that's cool. Now we're on that path, and then we can start manipulating a little bit more for performance, whatever that might be. That's what I don't know. And this is maybe am I naive? Because I'm like, hey, everyone, all fitness, just go tell the truth. Make it simple, easy, transitional for the individual. Give them the principles that are factually based in real world and let them start going. Don't just say, eat out of this box only and you'll be fine. Only eat. It's like Dr. David Sinclair. I'll do another one because I went back yesterday's video. I had Dr. Sinclair, a clip of Dr. Sinclair talking to Lex Friedman. Very interesting conversation talking about longevity as it relates to diet, exercise, and cold, hot water immersion, temperature, high temperature change. And I found a lot of inconsistencies. Now, this is someone who's very smart, someone that I do respect. I respect his work, the things he's done, his contributions. But at the same time, it grinds my gears because there's the conflation of fasting, where everyone uses Sinclair, much like they do Jason Fung, and they use them as the face of fasting. But when you hear Sinclair talk, you realize he does not one meal a day fast. He does not even intermittent fast in many ways. He wakes up and he has breakfast of whole fat Greek yogurt, some sort of berry or something else, and his supplements, because his certain supplements need to be absorbed along with fat, which fat from a meal is ideal for some supplement absorption. I think his is resveratrol that he talks about. Interesting concept, but I'm not sure exactly. And then he eats later on in the day, has a little dinner, a little supper, whatever that might be. Well, that's 2 meals a day spread kind of, early day, later day. Is that really fasting? Or is that just kind of under eating a little bit? He says he can't fast more than 24 hours. He feels absolutely horrid if he goes 24 hours without a meal. He also drinks alcohol and diet soda. So you can't pick and choose and create one snapshot. So I'd say David Sinclair, he doesn't intermittent fast. He doesn't one meal a day fast. He simply eats less calories. And he says that as we age, we should eat less calories. And I would agree with that because intake versus outtake, as we get a little older, well, our energy levels are going down because of our activity level goes down. So our energy refillment, replenishment has to go down equally. Many people will eat the same in their 40s and 50s what they did in their 20s and 30s, although their activity starts to go down. They don't take that into consideration. Now, sedentary lifestyle begins, proportionate calories start to go up, even though calories might not be going up. So I agree with him on that. Eat less as you get older, and maybe slightly less than you need to get really lean. So now you're not carrying around any extra weight, possibly. And here's another thought to that. You've then had the time and the ability to burn off much of that dangerous, highly dangerous visceral fat that accumulates in small amounts over long periods of time. You don't even know it's there. But more extreme versions of dieting get that off faster, where it seems subcutaneous body fat is typically targeted first, right? So that is interesting also. But the point is, Sinclair is often polarized as a fasting, intermittent fasting, extreme fasting face. But when you listen to him talk, you hear about his lifestyle. And I've listened to, 50, 80 hours, 100 hours over the years, of course, of him speaking and reading much of his work. He says it. He doesn't, eat one time a day. So that's the part of then people come to us. Now they're trying to eat 1 meal a day like David Sinclair and only meat or cheese. Quality of cheese doesn't matter. Velveeta cheese is cheese, Dolce. My keto coach said I can eat any cheese I want. He uses the Costco triple cheese, which is basically like plastic bits, right? Sprinkled on his zero carb taco. What the fuck is that? Cool. Absolutely love these rants. Keep it up. I'm just having fun right now. Also, by the way, figure we'd try this out. See, maybe I can cut it into a few little pieces. I'm just telling the truth. Rise said, Dolce, thank you for getting me back in gear. I've lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Bam. Going lean, green, and clean. Thank you. 20 pounds down in 2 weeks. Not extreme. Common sense, right? It's crazy what common sense actually does. And now Paul's on the path of long-term success. This is the first 20 in a dramatic lifestyle, total body recomposition. The Cross. What's up, Cross? Good to see you. 2 breakfast bowls a day. Oh, answer that. Sorry about that. Did answer that. Yeah, I'd say 2 breakfast bowls is too much because you said you're struggling with calories. I would get those normalized. I would do the 4x4, 4 meals, 4 hours apart, 4 times per day. Boom. Easy template to just get yourself in check. If you can't do that, well, you got lifestyle issues. You got habit issues. You got discipline issues. If you do that and get it and still feel like shit, well, you're likely making terrible food choices. So clean up the quality of food. And then you'll be like, 4x4, I'm following every day. I'm eating, pretty good, getting a little better at it, but I haven't eaten like shit anymore. I feel pretty fucking awesome. And then you give that another week and everything's locked in. Then we can increase the protein a little bit. We can start playing with exercise progressions because now you have the energy and the ability to recover. So we can then start pushing the expenditure, the outgo a little bit higher, probably start building calories up as expenditure goes up. Just as an aside, 250 liver kicks from either side completed. Damn, that's gangster. That's hard. What are your thoughts on goat and lamb meat? Love them. Love them, Henrik, boom, all badged up. I love that subscriber badge, my man. I appreciate that. One of the best things in life is that I have zero interest or knowledge for all these cornball celebs and self-proclaimed influencers. Get them, coach. I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm trying to be respectful, but I clearly disagree for reasons that I think are obvious. Now we can dance around and pull up, 3 different studies on one side, 3 different studies on the other side, argue about the relevance of our study and not address any of the issues in the other studies and pretend we want to debate. That doesn't do anything. So just grinds my gears that this conflation is used and it confuses people. But clearly the statements do not match the reality. And that was my point. The statements do not match the reality. And then people at home get confused. I know a lot of the keto heads. I know a lot of the carnivore heads. And I know for a fact they don't follow the food that they say. Even in their mind, I think they do. But they typically eat more carbs, way more processed carbs than I do, for sure. For sure. Like I have a more keto or carnivore diet kind of than they do. And I don't. I'm an omnivore. I just eat healthful whole foods. I'll eat steak as fast as I'll eat fucking some rice and beans, right? Or like some quinoa, or coconut, coconut quinoa or quinoa pineapple chicken recipe. Fire. And you can actually have that as a plant-based or as a vegan by pulling the chicken. You can't have that by pulling the quinoa, nor why would you want to? If Dolce, you have any problem with me doing 75 hard in conjunction with living lean, fasted list every morning? No, I don't have any problem. What we say is, man, exercise the way that you want to do it. Do something you want to do that challenges you, but mentally you're kind of into, right? Like it should be something that you enjoy doing, even though you might not be good at it, or even though it kind of hurts, it should challenge you a little bit. Don't go train legs with Nick Walker, IFBB pro bodybuilder. Like, don't do that session 1. Fucking go for a walk. Can you walk for 10 minutes? How about 30? How about 30-minute walk and 10 body weight squats down to a chair, holding onto a table? You can do that. Well, now kind of freestand without the chair there going down with your hand on the table. You can do that. Well, now cross your hands here. Give me 10 more. Can you do that with perfect form? Holy shit, you can do that. Now we're scaling forward. So, point is, wherever you are on that level, go. We can certainly help you. I work one-on-one with many of you now, which is awesome, through our online coaching program, our personal VIP elite, which is awesome. So I love that, working with you and dealing with this, but this is exactly what we do with most people. Scale where you are. We meet you where you are, and now we scale you forward. So do you. 70, and I don't even know what 75 hard is. I know it's Andy Frisella. I don't know what the tenets of the program are, so I apologize. But if you enjoy it, it's burning calories, it's safe, and it's healthy. It's improving your athleticism. Enjoy. Simon, what grinds my gears about keto versus carnivore is that most people can't even ditch sugar and junk food. I wish celebs would unite and help people cut the crud food, which would make a difference. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Right? That's what works. Don't you think if the other stuff worked, I, as a fitness professional, would be selling that type of stuff? Talking about it, getting the clicks from it. It's gobbledygook. It's keto. Remember keto? I don't really hear about keto anymore. Remember gluten-free? Remember the zone? Remember paleo? Every 3 years, these ebb and crash, and another one ebbs and crashes, another one ebbs and crashes. That's what I made the video about in 2017, I think. I think it's called Keto is Dead. Go check it out, which was talking about exactly. And I said, and then something, what I said in that video, keto was born out of paleo. Paleo was born out of the zone. The zone was very macro based, but they said, hey, we got these macros. We can't do any more. We're plateauing. What do we do? Or another said, we've sold all this macro stuff. We're starting to see customers not really care anymore because they already bought everything we had. What can we sell now? Do the macro thing, but now give them less options inside each macro. So they can't eat they can't eat rice or oats. Let's see how they react to that. That'll be different. That'll be extreme. That'll get some SEO love, some hashtag love, some AdWord love, some pixel love, right? That'll get some of that love. And poof, paleo. Take a little bit of science, brush it up a little bit, switch it, slap a narrative to it, and bam, that's out and running. Well, zone, paleo, keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, multi-day fasting, alternate day fasting, dry fasting, death fasting. But what we said is, so they'll go through more exclusionary versions of themselves until they hit the bottom, and then they'll cycle back to the beginning. Carbs will start coming back in, right? Because now it's the extreme thing with a little bit of tart cherry juice, because that is going to heal the inflammation that had built up from 40,000 years of evolution. They'll slap a narrative to it and just sell a bunch of shit again. Obviously not talking about the cool ones. A little subjective, perhaps. No, I get it. You have GSP ranked above Usman. Will Usman be able to pass GSP on the GOAT? Usman needs more fights against more people. GSP fought a higher caliber of opponent than Usman has so far. GSP is already retired, so we look back. We cannot rank a GOAT until they have retired, in my opinion, because their career is not over. So, got to take that off the list. George is retired. I'll put him there. Now, we can say active. Who's the best active pound for? And that's the pound for pound list, is who's the best pound for pound athlete amongst all the athletes. The GOAT is the greatest of all time. Right? So GSP is, still have him as the number one. I have him better than Matt Hughes. I have him, even going back to like the Pat Miletich, Carlos Newton days, and GSP is up there. And then since, of course, Woodley. But here's the problem. Woodley and Usman have gotten stuffed with the same opponents over and over again. Usman fought Masvidal twice. He fought Covington twice. He could have fought 4 amazing athletes. Then we'd be like, damn, he beat everybody. Fuck, he's the one. But Usman, he certainly could. We don't know until his career's over. We need a Moreno versus Figueiredo. For you agree that Ciro Gane could have been a tap more aggressive? Yeah, I don't know. He shut down, like Big Brother syndrome. It seemed to me a little bit. I had to block Paul on Insta because his bogus claims keep coming up on my feed. I don't know why they do. I know why they do that. In my opinion, I know why they do that. They do that for the exact reasons I won't do that. And I could certainly do that, right? So this is the transparency in conversation. I could do that. I could sell keto. How much money would we have made if we sold keto and came out with keto products and keto weight loss? And why don't even have a diuretic, a weight cutting product out there? Everybody would buy it, right? How much more? And everyone who knows fitness knows, like, yeah, damn, Dolce, you missed that boat. No, I didn't. That was intentional because we simply want to tell the truth and share the truth. Weight cutting, easy. Nutrition, manipulation, a little bit of dandelion root and uva ursi. There's no, unless you go over the counter, unless you go to prescription drug, there's no better. I'm not going to fucking sell you dandelion root you can get for $5 at Walmart, right? I'm not going to come up with a special proprietary formula and charge you $29.99 for it when it costs me $3 to manufacture it, right? All my supplement guys out there. I mean, the markups are disgusting. I'm not getting into that. For you, Uncle Mike, 34-year-old yo-yo dieter, always been active from wrestling to bodybuilding to powerlifting. Welcome, Nick. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Thank you. Consider subscribing to the channel, by the way. I would greatly appreciate being in the community together and helping to push this channel to great people like yourselves. And that's really what that does. Have you ever attempted going fully keto, vegan, or I've done it all? I've done it all. I went vegan for 3 months. I've gone carnivore for about 12 days, not quite 2 weeks even. I didn't count the night before. I started the day I woke up. Keto, yeah, I've done multiple keto trips, and I get benefits off of everything, and then I feel like shit. I get benefits off of everything, and then I feel like shit, and I can directly compare keto, vegan, carnivore, fit and macros, all the other stuff. I can directly compare those to what we suggest here at the Dolce Diet and Fitness. Ours is better. Eat high net nutrient, healthful whole foods, right? The highest quality foods that you can eat, those are the ones that you want to eat, right? Don't you want to drive the best car and sleep on the most perfect, posturally sound, comfortable bed? Of course you do. You want all the best. So why would you not want the completely best with your food? Does that not matter? Of course it matters. Do the brakes in your car matter? Right? Do the shocks in your car matter? Like, does the laxity in the driving car steering column, does that matter? Of course it matters. So why does it not matter? Evergreen principle here, my friends. Why does that not matter with the food, the things that you ingest? I would say that's what matters most, using the same principle. So the principle doesn't change. Of course, it's true. So we eat healthful whole foods, high net nutrient, healthful whole foods, not low net nutrient, highly palatable synthetic toxic chemicals being passed off as food. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. So when we don't worry about keto and vegan and carnivore and all that stuff, we just say, oh shit, let me just start eating healthful whole foods again in wide variety, in even portion sizes, regularly spaced. So now we get our digestive system working properly again, finally. Most people, you don't understand what a properly functioning digestive system feels like. You truly don't. That's sad. And all of these programs, none of these programs address that. Ours addresses that. That's the most important part of all nutrition. And they say most illness, most disease appears to manifest in the gut. That's where a lot of science is going. But we should not treat our gut with the utmost reverence by selecting only the highest quality, most efficiently digesting food sources. Of course we should. Why wouldn't we do that? So that's kind of where we start. And then we build into shredded world-class athletes winning world titles if we want to, or just being like the hot mom at the soccer game, or like the fucking weekend warrior dad that's studding around, getting his vitamin D, pushing his mower, right? Without the belly flop. Whatever. It's all on that simple path. Nick, did not realize how much fat I had until I implemented some of your eating principles last year and went from 96 kilo, wow, to 75 kilo. Gained some of it back over December, January, now 79. Awesome. So Nick lost 21 kilos, which is what, 26, 28 pounds or so? Somewhere in there, 25, 30 pounds. Nick lost following our principles. and hopefully, or maybe did or didn't even buy anything, because if the information we give is honest, like this is like a private training session every time we do this. I mean, the ranting stuff in the beginning, that's fun, grinds my gears. But then, answering these questions, these are fucking privates. About to start 3 weeks shredded next week. Do you think it's realistic to cut down to 70 within this time frame? Currently already doing twice a day, which include lists. Well, here's what I would say. If you don't have a weight class you must make, don't even worry about what you weigh. Focus on what you feel. Focus on how you feel. That's all that matters. Like how you feel, how you look. That's what matters. If you don't have to step on the scale, because you might look better and feel better at 71.5 kilo instead of 70.0 kilo. Like if you lose that extra kilo, you might just get a little too gaunt, a little too strung out. All the fullness disappears. Your activity level kind of drops a little bit. Maybe even your mood. Right now, you're a little bit hungrier. Why do that? Oftentimes, I see being a little bigger than you think helps you be healthy when you come in. Now, if you have to cut weight for a weight class, well, that's a different mentality. 75 hard guidelines. Yeah, I know it's a challenge, like a 75-day challenge. I don't know specifically, but I know it's probably got a lot of burpees and bear crawls and wake up and take cold showers and all that stuff. Lumberax, thank you. The $5 super chat donation. That is very cool. Much appreciative. Never expected. Very appreciative. Hey, Mike, any chance you can say what's your health thoughts on hydroxymethyl butyrate, HMB, and also creatine? Thanks, Lumberjacks. Great question. And fortunately, I am well qualified to answer this question. When I was 19, 18, 17 years old, one of my many jobs at that age was working for a local big national vitamin store. It's a nutrition store. And I don't want to say the name because I don't know if I can say the name, just because I like to tell the truth. And I worked there when Bill Phillips of EAS supplement company and then Muscle Media 2000, the biggest, disruptor in the bodybuilding industry during the 90s. Bill Phillips came out with all of his marketing power and his private jets and his Playboy models and his bubble baths. He was the Dan Bilzerian before Dan was Dan. Bill Phillips came in. Bill Phillips came in slanging, bang, bang, bang. HMB and creatine monohydrate, pushed with his media power and the articles and the hot chicks and the lifestyle. I was working for this nutrition store. So I knew when it was coming. I saw firsthand. I got to do all my due diligence on the company, on their background, on the sourcing, on exactly what manufacturing processes they use. Where do they get the raw bulk material from? Where does that company in Germany get their material from? So I was able to really go deep into this. And I went through the educational path. This was a national, still is a publicly listed company in the fitness and nutrition space in the 90s, though. I worked there and actually became management inside their corporate structure. So I had access to a lot of all the information. Now, what we found 30 years later, right? So I was there in the very beginning, and we used to have to keep it in, used to have to keep the HMB and the creatine in the plastic box, like the bulletproof box, kind of like a diamond, like the Hope Diamond. And like a staff member would have to come and open it. And that door was opening every minute. People were just buying it, sold out, always sold out, waitlist, sold out. What we found was the HMB really doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything in the real world, right? It sounds on paper, in vitro, looks pretty good. In vivo, you think? Maybe? No? Yeah, kind of? No? Maybe. Who's paying for this study? Am I, who's vested in this? So that's HMB. My opinion. All the research is out there. HMB is just not worth it. Creatine, on the other hand, creatine turned out to be a wonder molecule, a wonder supplement. Creatine now has dramatic performance benefits, as it is an energy molecule, a substrate used for muscular activity. It can add 1 to 3 reps onto a max in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10, 12 weeks. Some people are hyper responders. I'm a hyper responder of creatine. I start creatine, about 3 days later, I'm 5 pounds heavier, like tightened, packed, right? And then like I get better pumps for whatever that's worth. That might be a placebo, but also maybe my ability to hold on to glycogen, maybe. And then I start seeing pretty dramatic results like week 2. So I'm a hyper responder to creatine typically, but many people, the majority of people seem to respond well. But what we found now, great, my friends, Dr. Corey Peacock, Tony Ricci, and many others have been focusing on creatine for long-term cognitive health, offsetting dementia, offsetting cognitive decline, possibly dementia, possibly Alzheimer's, possibly other aspects of just traditional cognitive decline, where creatine now seems to improve that. That's very interesting. So that is my opinion. I have a little bit of expertise in answering that. But again, this is not medical advice. Speak with your doctor before trying any exercise and diet information. Keep it simple. Bam, Angel, you know what's up. Nick, Dolce, F you all the way from Australia. Boom. Do you recommend any supplements while on 3 weeks to shredded? I would look into vitamin D3. That might be considered. I would get blood work first. Me personally, I want to get comprehensive blood work done, and I'm going to look to find any specific deficiencies. Vitamin D3 is typically one to consider, maybe a B complex, maybe vitamin C. So those might be some simple ones. I actually do take that, by the way. I'm going to do a whole video on the supplements I take, but I do take a comprehensive B complex. I do take vitamin C, 2,000-3,000 milligrams per day. I take a ubiquinol, a few others that I'll speak on, but I don't really, I just started creatine again because I'm in my own recomp program right now. Do I take anything else? I used to take curcumin, but I've been off that for a few months. Chris, seems like everyone's body is unique in what they respond well to. So your advice of an omnivore diet is a place to start. Then people can lean towards more veggies or meats, depending on the individual. And that I don't disagree with you, Chris, but what we found in time, once they follow a well-balanced, evenly moderated omnivore meal plan, there's no need to go carnivore or vegan. What we found is the cleaner the quality of ingredients, of nutrients that you consume, the less that matters. But most people, remember, the carnivores, they're eating McDonald's patties with no bun, no lettuce, no tomato. They're peeling that off because that one little slice of dried, drizzled, nothing lettuce is bad for them. But the 2 slices of synthetic American cheese, which is not considered a real cheese by the FDA, it's not considered cheese. That's why it's called American cheese, not cheese. That is better than that little piece of lettuce. That's what they want us to believe. That doesn't make sense, right? That doesn't make sense. So just a well-balanced, high net nutrient, healthful meal plan. And the problem is most people don't follow that because they want to get their Dunkin' Donuts French vanilla light and sweet. They want to get their little scone. They want to kick back a few brewskis at nights or a few glasses of wine. They want to grab some tortillas and nachos and queso and get some beers with the friends every so often. But you know what? They're going to eat their chicken and they're going to eat their quinoa. They're going to follow the XYZ diet program, and they're going to get their Peloton bike going, and they're going to do some of those things. But they also are going to dip into the synthetics, the highly processed, highly palatable, highly processed, low net nutrient foods, which are just like one of the major causes, I believe, of systemic inflammation, starting in the microbiome. But then, of course, nothing happens in the vacuum. So then that inflammation tends to reach other areas of body that the individual is genetically susceptible to, more susceptible to. Lifestyle, of course, has an influence on that. But still, so we want to eliminate that and just go back to high net nutrient, healthful whole foods that feel good. Feel good digesting, you got good energy, you're starting to perform better, like body's changing. That's easy to find. You will not find that in a bag. You will not find that in a can. You will not find that in a box. You will not find that in a jar of supplements. You're not going to find that at McDonald's or In-N-Out Burger. You're not going to find that at Chipotle. So then you're just pretending. Then you're just pretending to play diet, eating 3 or 4 good meals and then going out and having a hot fudge sundae. with your girl, and have a hot fudge sundae with your girl for sure, but don't pretend you're a dieter and you know so much and care so much about the microbiome and xenotoxins, autophagy. Come on. I'm not saying you can't go have an ice cream. I'm saying don't go out there, have the ice cream, the beer, the chips, and kind of, drag your dick through the sand as you pretend to be following a diet, and then you blow it, which has serious negative effects, I should say, not benefits, negative effects. Fuck, one bad meal can destroy your digestive system for days. One late night, not getting good sleep, can dramatically disrupt your body's ability to digest and absorb the nutrients you're consuming. And if you're consuming low net, high calorie, highly palatable, highly processed foods, you're not even giving the digestive system a fair chance. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Upset me for prioritizing my personal health. That's true. That happens a lot. Funny how anyone can argue with you when your explanation is so logically constructed and common sense. There's really no controversy in your teaching. Thank you, Mike. You're extending and improving my life. Chris, I really appreciate that. That was so well said and very kind of you. So thank you. I'm actually going to screenshot that because I appreciate that. That's the point. Everything I say, you can just go pull up Google Scholar. Just go to Google Scholar. And just all the stuff that I talk about or Paul talks about, like the article on, pardon me. Boom. This, I just tell you, I just went to Google Scholar. The first thing he said, I went to Google Scholar, and the first thing that popped up was a complete contradiction from peer-reviewed scientific research. That is oh so logical, by the way. I'm not throwing shade at Paul. I'm just saying, well, these findings suggest that chia appears to be an alternative omega-3 fatty acid source for vegetarians and people allergic to fish and fish products. When fed to rats, chia decreased serum triglyceride levels and increased HDL cholesterol, good cholesterol, and omega-3 fatty acid content. That kind of beats the narrative of seeds are bad for you and will kill you and the whole thing. So it doesn't make sense in what I said earlier. Let me explain this. What I said earlier, now you can debate anyone. This is Lane Norton does this well, and a few others out there, they do this well. What do? They actually come to, in my opinion, well, most of the time, they come to the debate with a set of studies that they're hanging their hat on. Now, I've seen some have it written down. I've seen some with the earbud in the ear, and their brains were answering them. Also, some have it locked in. They know that these are their go-to. These are the bullets that they're firing. So what happens? You get two intelligent, educated individuals debating each other, but they simply debate on the merits of what their data says, and they don't take the time or have the ability to tear down what the other. So Dr. A will say, well, this is why this works really well. And Dr. B will say, no, it doesn't. My way is why it works really well. And this will come back and say, well, this study shows that my way works well. And this will say, well, this study shows that my way says it works better. And they'll go down that. Now, whoever's more charismatic has a better command of the microphone, maybe a command of the information. And typically the one that's more deceptive, I should say, the one that's more deceptive seems to do better in those type of debates in general. Not every time, of course, but in general, usually you don't have a moderator that even knows the topic well enough to delve down deep into it or to, kind of encourage direct engagement of thoughts instead of just parroting bullet points. That doesn't do it well. So I think it's better to just speak honestly, plain speak. Just go to Google Scholar and look at the studies yourself. That's easy to do. So let's talk now on integration. Right? Let's put everything in the context. And you can't put snake oil in context, right? You can't put an exclusionary, restrictive, fad dietary practice that is peddled because it is clickable and because it's trending and because the SEO is ranking. That's why most fitness topics and diet topics, most topics, actors and actresses even, but in fitness, that's why most diets are pushed, because of those reasons, not because of the validity of the program itself or the results. So that's what we try and do here. This is what we try and do in our way. Hopefully you like it. If you like it, subscribe to the channel. If not, I appreciate you being here. Hang out. Amir, coach, please release a 4x4 meal program for purchase. I'm doing 3 weeks of shredded bile, followed by living lean. And now, as I mentioned before, I'm very interested in the 4x4 concept. Thank you, Amir. Yeah, I will let you know soon. 4x4 is the bomb, by the way. Grinds my gears when people refuse to drink regular water because they don't like the taste. I know. So they add sugar, artificial sugar, and stuff to it. I agree. That's just drink water. My doctor told me to stop chugging my gallon of water, a glass at a time, said it goes through too fast to properly hydrate the cells. Your thoughts? No. Where's it going through too fast, Doc? No. I don't know any. I have zero reason to agree with that. Put it that way. So I challenge a doctor to explain it deeper or point you to the study, but don't be a dick. So maybe you just take it and go to Google Scholar and take a look. But you're drinking a glass of water and you can't drink your glass of water. Like, I don't know what that means. Now, are you like pounding? You're not pounding. You said a glass at a time. So I don't understand that. I'm hoping to be as active in my 50s, not just because it's good for me, but because deep down in a fat ass who loves to eat, I understand, which is why I keep moving the way I do. I am Mario, right? I am Mario from Super Mario Brothers when he retires with the princess in the castle by the fire. That is my inner beast. I just want to sit there by the fire with my close ones and eat. Ideal. But I can't do that, because I will look every bit that character would look at that when he stops running, right? So I think Mario's just running all day long, jumping and bouncing and like in battles and wars. That's how I try and construct my day, because the opposite will not be good. Paul, what's up, Mike? Yeah, everyone always looking to reinvent the wheel for clicks and arm day today. Who else getting after? Right on, Paul. Good to hear. Coach, how do you feel about the Ambrosia Collective supplements by Mike Rashid? I like Mike. I don't know enough about the line to talk about it, right? So I don't know. I don't know of any of the products, but I know Mike Rashid, who's just a legend in the fitness world, and he transcends. Mike Rashid transcends the fitness world. He's a much bigger personality. He has a much bigger message than just fitness, which is fine by itself. Rashid transcends that, and then he also has the Ambrosia Collective with Mark Lobliner of Tiger Fitness. So I know Mark, I know Mike. So social media, friendly, but some direct engagement and such, and always support. It's interesting. Guys like that, we support each other very subtly, but obviously in certain areas. I think very similar mentalities there. But I don't know the supplement. Therefore, I would assume Ambrosia is awesome. That would be my assumption, having never read the label, but knowing Mike and knowing Mark, I'd say it's awesome. I say it's high quality. The formulations are on point. I believe that they are effective. I believe that Mike definitely takes it and Mark takes it. I believe that they definitely credit the benefit with what they're doing. So that is my belief. Not having read the formulas, but also I know a lot of the people in the industries, and those are two guys that are on the good guy list. DK says the science or reason behind chamomile tea at night. Yes. Number one, it's delicious. It tastes good. Emotionally, it's very soothing to have a warm cup of tea in your hand as you're sitting there relaxing and winding for the night. Number two, it's caffeine free. Most tea has some form of caffeine, which can excite you before bed. Not good. Chamomile tea is a caffeine free tea that you can sit there and relax with. Also, the chamomile flower itself, is thought to have sedative properties. Whether or not that is true, I'm not sure. Anecdotally, I can say me drinking 2 cups of chamomile tea at night really helps me transition into a good sleep. And that is what I typically do. I end the night with 1 to 2 mugs of chamomile tea while watching TV, so I don't walk into the kitchen and eat whatever I can get my grubby little human hands on, right? I just relax with the tea and call it good. Simone, What's up, Simon? Simon Lamy, new member, all badged up, baby. That was good, man. That badge is looking good on you. I appreciate that, Simon. Thank you for joining the community. Anyone interested, make sure you subscribe, click that join button below this and get badged up. Get badged up. We got lots of cool stuff for everyone who's got the subscriber badge. You'll be able to join some of our live interviews with celebrities and athletes and doctors and, guests on the show. The badged members will be able to engage directly and ask questions. Everyone can watch and listen, but the badged up can be a part of it. Awesome channel coach, just signed up 1 minute ago and got my first community badge. Bang! Sam, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. It means a lot. Hey, Dolce, can you send answer to my YouTube? Need to fly. Thanks. I don't know what you mean, my friend. If you coach, you mentioned Carlos Newton and Pat Miletich. Now I have to break out the old DVDs from high school. That was such an awesome era. Raul, it was, man. I remember driving to Suncoast Video at the Monmouth Mall like every Sunday, every weekend, and just scouring through their rack trying to find any fighting DVD or any fighting VHS, the VHS days, right? Any VHS and then DVDs and such. So the good old days, right? UFC was on 4 times a year. You could never even watch it. Pride was on back in the day that you try and find one of your buddies that had one of those scramblers so you could watch Pride and then kind of like the lines moving. The good old days. Question regarding fasted cardio. What's the heart rate recommended for someone with active, healthy lifestyle? I feel nothing at 110. Should I keep it up? Fasted cardio, we like to say double your resting heart rate. That's kind of the intention of morning lists for us, knowing we will train. That's because that's low intensity. We will train at moderate intensities, body weight squats and things such as that. And we also will be training at high intensities too. MMA sparring, wrestling practice, assault bike, rower, burpee over barbell, whatever that is. So we like the low intensity to truly be low intensity because a lot of times people will meld their low intensity and the moderate intensity. Instead of going for a 30-minute walk, they'll go for a 30-minute jog, 35-minute jog, and they'll start to push it up. Well, that's moderate intensity, which you're already doing a few other times this week, kind of overtraining, putting too much emphasis on that energy system, muscular system, field skill, what you might be focused on. So we say low intensity is simply double your resting heart rate. You're probably somewhere in the 50s or so. High 40s means you're pretty damn fit. Low 60s means you got probably some metabolic issues. Low 50s, low mid 50s is awesome. We say double it, 110 or so, because, and also once you get to like 110, 120, 130, well, now your body's going to start pulling a little bit of the glucose, a little more glucose, and some people much more glucose. And we don't want that. We want to keep that. We want to keep that glycogen stored. Well, and what program do you suggest for my 57-year-old mom? Terribly sedentary lifestyle. I would go to thedolcediet.com. Let me show you. I would go here, thedolcediet.com, and I would hook mom up with a 12-week program. And just tell her to just start with meal 1. Let's go grocery shopping. Right? It's not just for athletes. Take her to the site, just show her some of these photos, read some of these amazing transformation stories from very real people who dramatically changed their lives. And then I would show her the grocery list. Look at these. I show her the meals. Look at these meals are delicious. Pancakes are on there. Mom's meatloaf in a pinch, that's on there. The way we bake it and cook it is a little bit different in a healthy way. But I would put her on the 12-week Living Lean program, starting with Living Lean. And I would just look at the grocery list with her. And this is what we do with a lot of people. I've done it with members of my own family even. Say, hey, look at these meals. They look awesome. Yeah, let's go grocery shop it. Like, I'll go grocery shopping. Here's how I'll set up the Amazon delivery for you. I'll create that cart of like the things that you need, once a week or every other. I would help with that, and I would encourage her on. I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you. Oh, breakfast was delicious. Like, that's what I would do personally to help her, because what happens now? 57-year-old mom. Terribly sedentary. What happens now? This is the thing. What happens now? She's 57. Can she keep living the way she's living? No, she needs to make a change. And that change has to be transitional. Remember, we meet you where you are. We walk the journey with you. Simply. She shouldn't get out of her chair and right into a burpee. Let's just get her standing up and, let's go. Let's take the kid to the park. Let's go to the park. Let's go, let's go for a walk in the park. Let's go to the beach. Whatever that beautiful thing is, become her partner. I'd love to go for a walk with you. Walk and talk and just do the thing. Maybe that's where she is. That's usually how spending time, not working out, is the way we've found you can get some of the our revered elders into an activity program without it being your idea or too hard or too different for them to wrap around. Just friendly thoughts there. Would there be any benefit taking creatine on 3 weeks to shred it? Yeah. If you don't have, this is beautiful. If you do not have to weigh a certain weight at the end of 3 weeks to shred it, I would definitely be on creatine, because you're going to lose the same amount of fat. You're going to have more energy because creatine is an energy substrate. It allows you to be 1, 2, or 3 more reps more explosive once things are finally kicking, and that adds weight. That adds weight to the bar. That adds force. That adds power. That adds endurance. It allows you to train harder as the 3 weeks to shredded nutrition plan is just running through you and rebuilding the muscle tissue and giving you the right energy you need at the right time, and making sure all the cells of the body have all the vital nutrients they need to do their job. Right? So this all tied in, man. I've done it before. I've done that. I don't have it here. Photo shoot. I did that on a photo shoot. 3 weeks of shredded plus creatine. Probably the best I ever looked. The best blend of being ripped yet big and full. It was awesome. Rise, what supplement would you most recommend for general health? Well, how old are you? I don't like one, right? So I can't say one, but I would say like a vitamin D3 to consider, B complex consider, vitamin C consider. This is assuming there are no deficiencies. You're not calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium deficient, right? So assuming that there's no deficiency, I would just look towards some of the basics. And then age appropriate, of course, that's going to matter. How old are you? Are you pushing 50? Do you have any, inflammatory markers going on? What's the blood looking like? Belen says, Dolce, I need to lose as much fat as possible until April. I'm a healthy weight according to my doc. I train 5 days a week and fasted cardio as well. Which program would you recommend? Well, it depends. If I'm you, Belen, I would start the 12-week program because you have until April, but I would jump in with the 4 weeks of 3 weeks to shred it. I would start your mom with the 8 weeks of living lean. I would start you with 3 weeks to shred it because you're already pushing. You're already eating well. You're already training. You're already in a routine. Now I would throw 3 weeks to shred it to really jump you to that next level. And then you'll transition into the living lean program, which will now stabilize total body weight, keep pulling that body fat off is the plan. Keep, augmenting body fat percentage due to composition and taking care of the lean, healthy muscle tissue, supporting it, growing it, shaping it, sculpting it, just allowing it greater free athletic expression. That's kind of what the plan is. But living lean was designed to get healthy adults to their ideal body fat, body composition. For guys, that's below 14. The goal of living lean is to get guys to about 12% body fat. Now, if you're at 24% body fat, it's going to take you longer than someone who's at 16% body fat, right? So understand. It might take you, instead of 8 or 12 or 16 weeks, well, it might take you 20 or 24 weeks to finally get the 60 pounds off and be at 12% body fat. But at week 4, you looked amazing and you were down a shirt size and a belt size. Like by week 12, your abs were popping for the first time since high school even. Like So it's a continual success story, but it might take that long based upon the person. But that's what I would suggest for you. What's up, gangsters? Adam Hart's in the house. What's up, my man? Hope all's well, coach. Billy K badged up, baby. Got that subscriber badge for subscribing to the channel, clicking the join button. Thank you for that, Billy. I'm pumped up. What I love, Mike, you can break it down to simplicity itself. 4 balanced meals 4 times a day, carbs under 200 or so, and exercise, of course. Thanks for all you do. F you, Dolce. This is what I'm doing. Awesome. That's it, man. I try and make it so easy. I want to open source all my information, right? Is whatever you ask me, I answer. So whatever I can do to help you guys, this is why I'm an hour, 20 minutes deep into this. This was what grinds my gears, the first little bit of this. And then, kind of we go on to these Q&As, which are great. And there's still more questions in here. So Billy, I'm happy, man. I'm here to help. Can you talk us through your last full day of eating and training? Yeah. All right. So what was yesterday? The average day, I don't even remember what yesterday was. So average day, I wake up, I typically have the breakfast bowl, which is approximately half a cup of oats. If I use whole oats, I'll be half a cup. If I use oat bran, I'll typically use like a little bit more than a quarter of a cup just because it's more dense at that size. But it's usually some sort of oat that we rotate through. 2 tablespoons of chia seed, 2 tablespoons of hemp seed, 2 tablespoons of ground flax seed, like 2, I'm not like an over measurer, like 2 good tablespoons of an almond butter, a shit ton of cinnamon. And sometimes I'll do coconut flakes. Didn't do coconut flakes. Sometimes I'll put a little cacao in there, which is awesome, but not too much. Didn't do that this time. A little bit of raw local honey I'll squeeze in there. That's the typical breakfast bowl. Some days I will do avocado, 1 whole egg, 5 to 6 whites, and like 4 pieces of chicken sausage. And then a piece of fruit, whatever fresh fruit we have in the house. So that's like my option B. That's what I had this morning, by the way. Yesterday, I don't remember. I feel like I had this meal again yesterday, but I also think I had the breakfast bowl, so that doesn't matter. Next meal was, and I have one over in my backpack right now, just a piece of chicken and last night's vegetables, right? So today I have potato. Let's talk about today, right? That's exactly what I said about breakfast, what I ate. The 1 whole egg, the 5 whites, the avocado, the 4 sausage, and tea. I drink, been drinking Earl Grey tea, right? So full disclosure, little bit of coffee. I drank like 2 ounces of coffee at home just to like get my metabolism fired up. Next meal is going to be a piece of chicken, like, 5 ounces, 6 ounces of baked chicken with like half a cup of small potatoes, chopped potatoes, and then just like pan tossed, fucking delicious. A little bit of salt and pepper on there, and then chopped broccoli. That's the next meal. I'll have blueberries, coconut water, and the Dolce Way as the meal after that. I'll have salmon and rice and asparagus, which I love, with a little bit of a garlic, garlic honey sauce that we use raw honey, use a little garlic, and just kind of, get that mixed. That'll be the next meal. And then dinner is going to be whatever Brandy's cooking. She'll usually like roast a turkey, or she'll do like make pho, in the crock pot. Maybe it's meatballs and brown rice pasta. Like I'm good. So right now I'm following a transitional program, very similar to the 4x4. As I transition into next month, now I'll just take this further. So context wise, into next month, when I'll just tighten things up even more. So this was a transitional month, like I talk to you guys about all the time. I'm following relatively the 4x4. And then earlier this week, I moved it up to meal 5. I said that in one of my previous videos. I was doing the 4x4. Now I added another meal instead. And it was actually the shake. I added the shake instead of adding more food to the plate, because I'd rather eat a little more often than eat more food at the same time, because I like to feel light. I hate when I feel like I've eaten too much. So I like to eat a little bit more often. And that's where the shake fits in. Josh, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys. I don't know. It was pretty easy to do. Shit ton of water, oat milk, a cappuccino with cinnamon. I'll usually have that. I did have that, actually. It's right here, by the way. Amir with the badge, baby. Subscription badge, badged up. Subscribe to the channel. Click the join button. Get that badge. Be cool. Have all sorts of shows coming up for the badged up members. How often do you recommend doing 3 weeks to shred? I'm on my second week and now at 275. Have a wedding to attend at the end of March and want to get down to 250. Should I do back-to-back? Many people do back-to-back on 3 weeks to shred. We call it round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Many bodybuilders, bikini and fitness competitors are now following 3 weeks to shredded for the duration of their 12 to 16 week prep program by simply following day 1 to day 21, resetting it. Inside the software, you can actually reset to your new body weight and keep on going. Reset every time, update your measurements every time, and the program adjusts to the new you every time. So the bodybuilders and fitness competitors, they're getting in crazy shape, bodybuilding shape, but they have the energy of combat athletes. And that is the beauty of it. That's the difference. So what would I say? What would I do? Yeah, man, your deal is at the end of March. I'm going to run the shredded back to back to back as much as I can. But remember, where you start and where you finish is different. So as you start shredded, your calories are going to wave up and down, and they're going to end slightly lower than when you started day 1 to day 21. Your carbohydrates will wave up and down as the calories are waving up and down. Carbs won't really be dropped as you go along, not massively, and you'll see what I mean in there. But then when you start round 2, you start back at the high phase on day 1. So this is a built-in reverse diet, and you stay higher on the first 10 days of shredded as you do on the last 10 days. So you have this really nice 1-2 week recomposition where you're eating the same basic food. So your digestive system's totally happy. Your weight is, your total caloric intake goes up, and your body fills out and expands as the fat, because we're not feeding the fat, we're only feeding the muscle, as the fat continues to lose. So usually, like, you go through shredded round 1, you lose a pretty, damn dramatic amount of body weight. And then it's round 2. That's where, like, the body starts to change. And remember, you lose 21 pounds in 21 days. Your skin doesn't snap back that fast. You will lose your fat and water much faster than your skin can and then shrink wrap. It takes 1.5 to 2 times the amount of time to get your skin to catch up to where the fat cells shrunk down from on average, right? So as you get into like the second round, your body keeps changing. Now the skin is shrinking down. And once it gets shrink wrap, you go from a extra large shirt down to a medium shirt, then it's shrunken forever. And you keep with your healthy lifestyle. Maybe now you've transitioned to living lean, which is the recomposition program. Now we start filling the muscle back out, rounded, shapely, sculpted. It's awesome. Ours is very well thought out. It is very well thought out. The online, the brains, the system, the science of the online program and the 3 weeks to shredded program, how they fit together, how they complement each other. They're made to run year round. It's made to be on 12 months out of the year. Right? Do 4 weeks of lean, do 8 weeks of lean, 4 weeks of shredded, and rotate through like that. 1 month plus then 2, 1 month, then 2, or you can do 4 of each. 4 rounds shredded, the first 4 rounds, because living lean is broken into 2. It's broken into 4 2-week rotations. So the body's always changing, but the recipes are so very similar and delicious. Kingsbury, lost my fight, but your tips for rehydration and recovery were top notch, and I thank you greatly. Absolutely. Kingsbury, that's it, man. Win or lose, what did we learn during the process? What did you learn about yourself during the process? And the process isn't the exact 15-minute fight itself, but it's the 3 months beforehand. What did you learn about yourself? What did you do well? And what can you do better next time? Proud of you, my friend. Belen, so my mom isn't overweight, but extremely sedentary. Same thing. We worry that she won't be able to enjoy life for the next 35 years because she's losing muscle. Well, she's not enjoying life right now if she's already sedentary. So I would start planning trips and movements. Go to the beach, go to the park, go to the event. We're entering this thing. We're doing this thing. We're going on vacation here. We're walking. We're hiking. Let's go. Hey, coach, I'm 47. My testosterone is 507 and I feel good and energy is good. Would you suggest TRT to get back to 7, 8, 900 or no? As a good friend of mine, doctor once said, don't treat the paper, treat the patient. Let me explain. My white blood cell count runs extremely low. Always has. It does in my family. Mine runs extremely low. And every time I get my blood work done, it's low. I'm like, damn, am I sick? Where was I? Who did I talk to? Did I fly? Am I sick? Am I sick? Am I sick? Always low. And then I started looking back over years, because I have years of my blood work and my data, which we all should have. I mean, it should be like your taxes, right? You should have your blood work all together. And I even have mine organized on an Excel spreadsheet, so I can look at just the date and I can see the exact values. And I look, and it's always been low. And I said it to my doc, and he's like, starts flipping through. He's like, when was the last time you were sick? I don't know, man. Like, I got like a stuffy nose that one time. I flew 14 hours to Australia, but I was like good a day later. He's like, when was the last time you had the flu? It's like, you're fine. Your immunity is clearly fine. That is your level. That is your normal. So to you, Richard, I use my own personal health history as an analogy. Your 507 might be another dude's 900. Your 507 might be another dude's 100, though. So if you say you feel great, man, you feel great. What I would strongly suggest, what we do with all of our male clients and female clients who are on HRT programs or TRT programs or ERT programs, whatever they may or may not be doing, or, GH and all the other stuff and the peptides, all the stuff. Go to your doctor, have that conversation, tell them how you feel, what your level of life is like what's your energy, what's your cognitive function, what's your sleep patterns, what's your sex life, like all the stuff. Have the deep conversation, what your fears, what your worries are, get your blood work done, and then analyze the results, put the two together. If you're super stressed out all the time, you're always eating crap food, you get absolutely terrible sleep, you're always stuck in traffic, your job sucks, and you sat down all day, very sedentary, and your testosterone is low. Like, all right, well, let's start working on these 5 things, and maybe that testosterone starts creeping back up again. I will say many times it does. Many times it improves. Now, does it improve well enough to get you back up to 700, 800 if that's what you want? Because right now you're sitting 47 years old, 507. That sounds pretty good. And if you feel good, but I know guys have come in at like 6 and they're like, man, I'm just dragging, like all about their life. And we'll go through the first test. We'll go through their whole lifestyle. Usually we fix that. And I don't want to say a majority. We actually haven't collected this, but a good number. We never have the conversation again. Some get there and they find out through blood work that, well, maybe they need more iron and magnesium and zinc and their DHEA and their pregnenolone, balances are off. Maybe they have a couple other things going on hormonally that need to be corrected. Now that lifestyle's been fixed, now there's a few other methodologies that you can utilize. And then you might go deeper into medical intervention through prescription drugs. And that would be the, HRT protocols. There are many different out there. So do you need it? Do you need to be 700 or 800? I don't know. What's the difference between those programs? I think I answered that for you. The 4-week, the 12-week, 3 weeks shredded is for like acute, extreme weight loss. Get shredded. I got something coming up and I want to be at my best. That's 3 weeks to shredded. Living Lean is an 8-week total body recomposition program that will help you build muscle and improve energy and like get your health back and, aid in digestion while losing maximum amount of body fat, but not being overly extreme, not being at an extreme calorie deficit, having a more moderate lifestyle. And the meal plan is amazing, very amazing, delicious meals, not diet food at all. Adam, boss man, I just had a sauna installed. What's your recommendation for usage? Me personally, I like to be in a sauna over 200 degrees for 20 minutes. Now, Dr. Rhonda Patrick has a lot of good work here. I believe she said it must be at least 170 degrees or you're not really yielding the true effects of sauna use. I like 190 or above. As you get higher, you get more benefit. And I think that 190 to 200, 205, 210 range is probably ideal. And then I will cold plunge at approximately 45 degrees for approximately 6 minutes when I'm at my best. And I'll do 3 rotations and be done. That would be my best case scenario. And that's exactly what I do. I go to a banya and I have that benefit. The saunas get up to like 215, 220. It's real deal in there. What are your thoughts on brain focus supplements such as alpha GPC, tyrosine, lion's mane, etc.? No. Does it work? It might work. I'd say take a B complex first. See how that goes. Go to Jarrow, Jarrow is just a company I'm a customer of. I get nothing to say their name. I know that they have good quality. I'm getting what they say I am, paying for what they're sending me. And check out their B right, their B complex formula. See how you feel in a couple days. Many times, your cognitive, awareness can be dramatically affected by B vitamins. Something simple, because likely you have a deficiency. So I've seen a lot of the companies out there. I'm trying to be kind here. I've seen a lot of the companies out there. I don't know of one off the top of my head that's effective. How about that? Maybe there are some out there. Maybe I'm forgetting some that, I should have remembered, but I don't know one that's truly effective. So, and Lord knows, like, I have a highly complex job, right? I'm on here talking to you guys for an hour and 35 minutes straight, writing and working and dealing. Like, we work here for real over here, and I create a ton of content that you guys see every single day. Rather robust lifestyle, 2 young babies at home, married, family, property, like all the stuff. Shit, I don't take them. And I've taken them and they've been sent to me before. They didn't do anything for me. I had one owner say, "Oh, yeah. You're already so alpha. You just need to double the dose." I doubled the dose and I had a fucking migraine for a day. So I stay away from that shit. Sorry for the spam questions. How important would you say buying free-range, grass-fed, wild-caught meats and fish and organic fruit, veg is? Very extremely. The highest quality food you consume, the best. The highest quality everything. Highest quality everything. Do you want to give your children the lowest quality, or the whatever you can get your hands on, or the good enough? Or do you want your children for your child's car seat? How about that? Brakes on your car, the laxity in the steering column, and your child's seatbelt. What quality do you want to buy? Well, that is an evergreen principle directly related to all other things in your life. So then you tell me, right? That's for everyone right there. Think like that. Could get home body weight workout with a pull-up bar to time me over until March, when I can get back to commuting to the gym on the regular or suggested link you've discussed in this past. Could a home body weight workout with a pull-up bar? Yeah, go to 20-Minute Fitness, 20-Minute Fitness, 20-Minute Fitness Network, Mike Dolce's 20-Minute Fitness Network. It's a channel that we have. We started up a year or so ago. We put 4 weeks of body weight exercise in there, I think when the pandemic hit, somewhere around about that time. Go and look in the video playlists and start, because there's like a day one. Go like day one, week one, day one, and then just go forward. And there's going to be 4 weeks of consecutive workout. It's a fun one. Cody, what I'm doing isn't challenging me as much as I'd like to. Time to step it up. How to consume the dandelion? Should I buy it fresh, dry, or in pills? I'd start with the tea first. We always try to go to the Whole Foods first. I'd start with the tea first. See if you can actually get dandelion root from the store even. And you can get that and put it into salads. Or make your own tea out of it. Or you can get the tea bags. But you can just get, you can certainly get the pills, the capsules. How to consume dandelion. Yep. Cody. Yep. Hey, coach, I did 3 weeks of shredded, lost 15 pounds, but now I'd like to slowly add muscle. Cody, awesome. I assume you're using our online platform at thedolcediet.com. If so, you can simply restart your program exactly where you are at. But here's the hack. I would not start 3 weeks to shredded at your new body weight, 15 pounds lighter. I would start 3 weeks to shredded at the old body weight you were when you first started. This will allow you a nice caloric surplus with the exact same foods that you ate previously that got you shredded. So you're not putting fat back on with these foods organized exactly as they are, running concurrent carbohydrate and calorie cycles as they taper you to a new body fat low, while being designed specifically to maintain maximum muscle mass and improve athletic performance, right? So if you bump your body weight back to what it was, follow through again, now you will start to recomp. And this is where the muscle is added. and the body fat keeps coming down. Or, Craig, you can simply transition into the Living Lean program, the 8-week Living Lean program. Inside of that program, it's very much built as a recomposition plan with a wider variety of delicious foods. We have over 200 amazing recipes inside the resource section, like thoroughbred fried chicken using oat bran and coconut oil, created for when Jay Haran, working with Jay, he was getting ready to fight Ben Askren in the Bellator, for the Bellator or welterweight world title. Jay, actually, when we worked together, we went 4-0 running through the Bellator welterweight tournament to get the chance to fight Ben. Actually, 3-1, the 3 wins in the tournament, and then he lost a super close split decision, which was bullshit, to Ben in the end. So the thoroughbred fried chicken, though, we have pancakes, we have fajitas, so much stuff in there. So I'm getting a little long-winded because I'm living through the recipes. We're working on a update to the software right now for everyone who is a member of the online platform at thedolcediet.com. We got some pretty cool updates coming your way soon. That's what we've been doing behind the scenes. More great, cool stuff for all of our members. Amir with the badge, baby, all badged up. Badge is looking good, Amir. Anybody wants to get a badge also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that join button. We will be hosting live interviews with well-known industry celebrities, professional athletes, doctors and scientists, and thought leaders will be on this channel coming soon. And those who have badges will be able to ask questions and engage. Everyone will be able to watch and listen, but the badge members can ask maybe their favorite athlete a question. Should there be a Moreno versus Figgy 4? Yeah. Why? Who else is there? I'm sure. Who else is there? Who else is at 25? These guys are, it's going to be like, what's Amanda Nunes and the Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena, right? Who else is there? I mean, and it just makes sense. At the lower weight classes and the higher weight classes, it's harder to get the gene pool, where the 170, 185 is packed for men. Like that 125, 135, well, that's packed for women, right? The average male weighs, what does the average male weigh? Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see here. 5'9", and let's see how much he weighs. I'm looking. Yeah. So the average body weight for a man between 20 and 40 in the United States is 197 pounds. So that's why it's like the 85 pounders and the 70 pounders. That's why those two weight classes are packed. But the male 125 pound class, fuck, you got two guys fighting forever who are both awesome. I think if those guys fight 10 times, they win 5-5, 6-4, 4-6, right? Each time they do it, they're going to fight 1,000 times, and they're going to have a pretty split record, in my opinion. Sorry, Coach, I missed some of that. Jay is the man. Represent New York. Hell yeah, Jay's a stud, man. So restart, but with my old weight, and make the goal weight the same. I'm a little skinny at 155. No, I would make the goal weight exactly the same as you made it previously. No, that, you know what? Let me back that up. I'd say that's not true, because you're really looking at recomp. Now, this is hard because I haven't seen you. I don't know your physique. I don't know your current body fat percentage. There's a lot more information that if we were working together privately, I'd go through about 75 specific questions to really understand you, and then I would speak. Right. And then I would start making some suggestions or having follow-up questions. That's what we do here. Like we go down and deep. That being said, no, I wouldn't set it, because you're let's say you started at 185, you got down to 170. I would start it back at 185. I would say the same thing. I'd probably just go through the plan again, right? And just because now we're just trying to pack in that weight. Dana versus Ngannou, I'd pay to see that. Oh, I would not pay to see that. I would, I would find it though. I'd find a GIF of it on Instagram or something. Hey, Mike, do you like knees over toes content? I don't know enough about it. It's Ben Patrick, right? Knees over toe guy. I just haven't had the time to delve that deep in. When we have curated research that we do here. Every day we do about 3 hours worth of research on very specific topics that usually have something to do with what we're planning in the future, what's relevant today, and then also things that go to our forward-facing content, new books we have coming out, updating like we've been doing recently, updating websites. So we allocate about 3 hours a day to very specific research, like what's happening in the world, to specific to what we're doing now. Anyway, so that being said, I don't spend a lot of time, as much as I could, jumping into areas until they fall into the funnel. That's probably the best way. And then my private time, I don't do anything fitness-wise. I have to unplug. So the private stuff is a lot of like outdoors. I'm an outdoorsman. I'm a fisherman. I love camping, trying to, get my family a little more outdoor camping, getting them into like a tent camping. We've cabin camped and camper camped. Haven't fully tent camped yet, but they're still young. So I have young children. So I love that stuff. I love the gadgets. I love finance, tons and tons of finance and business and all that stuff. So I haven't checked out, big answer, I haven't checked out Ben's stuff. I'll probably get the Ben stuff, knee over toe stuff, probably by spring. Truly, because it's interesting for sure. I just don't have the bandwidth for it, the way my life and days are scheduled. Amy, all's good. Good to see you. I'll book a call. Craig, book a call, man. Just go to thedolcediet.com if you want to book a call. Thedolcediet.com, and then click on online coaching. Click that tab. Bam. Then I become your private coach for 30 days, and we get down. As hard as you want to work, as focused as you want to be, I'm your coach for 30 days. It's awesome. I mean, just picture this. I'm not going to be any different during my online coaching sessions as I am with you guys right now for free. Right? Think about that. Fun question. Ever put on a Rocky movie to pump up? Yeah, hell yeah. Oh my God, the entire 80s. I remember being a Cub Scout in the 80s and going camping, and Rocky 4 had just came out. And my buddy AJ Hahn, his dad was the scoutmaster. They brought this little like boom box, and he had the boom box like at the back of the pickup truck, like where the camp is, with the Rocky 4 cassette tape playing over and over and over and over. And these idiot little, however old kids we were just shadow boxing and running around like we're Tarzan. Good, clean, healthy fun. I remember vividly Rocky 4 soundtrack, and I remember the image Rocky with this flag on him and just like all wind strawled out, right? Stallone all juiced out, right? Looking great, Sly. Yeah. So yep, I do remember it and have done it. Knees over toe guy on Joe Rogan was recently. I know he's been everywhere. He was on a Mark Bell show not long ago. I think has he been on Impact Theory, Tom Bellew yet? I know he was just on Rogan. I've seen his stuff. Some of my clients, actually, some of my private clients in the VIP elite, some of them actually are following some of Ben's protocols, which is cool. So they're following some, and I've seen, so some of his protocols look good. I'm not an expert in specific knee function, rehab, prehab. So Ben has some really good concepts. Not everything I agree with, but I don't agree with everything my wife says. Don't tell her I said that though. Jesus Christ. I gotta edit that part out. Amy says, Coach Mike, good afternoon. The idea of 3 weeks is shredded with the old weight is interesting. We'll definitely have to talk about that in our next session. Heck yeah, Amy, I am in, and it works real well. I listened to Joe Rogan while he had knees over toes, and I took the hook. So now I'm doing some backwards walks right now on the treadmill before I actually do forward walking. If it works, it works. I agree. And this is nothing against Ben at all. If it doesn't look, you're going to look like a moron for sure. You're going to look like a moron. You got to wear here's what you do. Dress like a CrossFitter and then do that. And people will blame CrossFit, not you. There you go. Problem solved. But these are things, and Ben is highlighting, maybe in many ways like we are here, highlighting the obvious. I believe we are highlighting the obvious nutrition principles and protocols and strategies, and like everybody should be doing what we suggest. I don't understand any argument to the contrary, because I'm not saying anything that's controversial at all. Right. So I believe that's what Ben is doing in many ways, but we should be performing like that anyway. You're not, I hope all humans are walking backwards and walking sideways and crouching and stepping and going over and lunging and walking uphill and going downhill and doing all of these basic athletic healthy movements. So I think Ben has a very specific take on that. I look forward to learning it. Thankfully, my knees are still in great shape, but it'd be something fun to implement down the road. How much Greek yogurt a day and what part of the day? How much a day? Not a day. I will do Greek yogurt, I don't know, maybe twice a week. Typically, like twice a week, maybe. Like the ice cream thing was fucking awesome, so we'll rip that up, but not too. We don't even do that too often. We'll just go through like a phase. We'll do that for like, 1 or 2 nights in a row, and then maybe not again for quite a while. What was the last time I had yogurt? The last time I had Greek yogurt, listen to this, Greek, great snack. Now, this is only when you get to a certain level of success where you want to be. I'm about 11% body fat right now. I'm fit. I am in a very good physical, athletic, aesthetic composition zone. My life is pretty structured, right? So that being, I want to preface that with this. On Saturday night, I had about 6 ounces of Greek yogurt and an equal portion of salsa and a nice bowl of red hot blue corn tortilla chips from the brand Garden of Eatin, Eatin. Fucking bomb. Let me tell you. And like the Greek yogurt and the salsa on the spicy blue corn tortilla, delicious. That was the last time I had it. That is like when I'm fucking binging, when I've earned it, part of the earned meal session, by the way. That's what I had. And then previous to that, sometimes I'll do like fruit. Usually I'll do like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and then some chia seeds. Sorry, Pete. And eat it like that. I listen to your vids while I meal prep. Boom! Hell yeah, bullfighter. Well, I hope you got a ton of meals there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was super fun. Holy cow, we've been on for quite a while, which is fine. Happy to answer all your questions and have great, engaging conversations with you. You guys certainly make me a better coach. Boom. Just getting that cleared up. And that's it. That's all I got to say. So hope you guys like this. If so, consider subscribing, click that join button and get badged up like some of those inside the group. Thumbs up, leave comments or questions below. This was not a bashing video. I'm not a basher, but I don't understand why. What grinds my gears, the beginning of the video, it's funny, we're so far away from that now, like 2 hours away from that. But still, what grinds my gears is the conflation of terms for no other reason than to confuse the public, I believe, to buy stuff. And that sucks. That's how I will leave this video. Thank you guys for being here. And until next time, boom.